Okay, so recently I went and got new tires put not on that car, but on this car. Because I got two of them. That's my daily. And they had a problem. It had to do with back in the 80s and 90s, they had locking wheel lugs. So you had to buy a special socket to get them off. And guess had one of them. So they couldn't find it. Took a while for them to confront me. And I said, maybe there's one in the trunk. And there was. And they were able to get it off. And they said that the lugs are all tore up. And I said, well, that's fine. It's a 4-lug system. I'm half a mile from home. I will take the risk of driving with 3 lugs on the wheels, go home, and I have a full set of racing lugs and bolts that I can put on. So I did. Now, what I didn't realize, I don't know, my wife is mad, of course. It's NTV. I don't really want to mention their name because I did, after all, indemnify them against any damages. What I hadn't taken into account is the fact that they used an insane amount of impact wrenching to put the wheels on, which stretches the bolts. They normally require 65 to 75 foot-pounds of torque. It's enough that if you lean on a 2-inch breaker bar, you can pop them loose. Not where a 200-pound guy like me is jumping on that same breaker bar to get it loose. So, that being the case, these are stripped out. And the wheel came off driving to work. So the wheels came off on the hub. I don't know if you can see the detail where it walled out a bit. This is the front side, and you could see that there was some scoring happening around it. I don't know if the fucking light is enough, but there's scoring around all of it. So they got walled out and worked out. And then, of course, took out the rotor. See how it's flattened? It's because when the wheel came off and went bouncing down the freeway, this guy was good until I touched the brakes. And then it just ground. And of course, the control arm. You see there's supposed to be a rubber boot and some grease to hold this in. No rubber boot, and it's ground down. So that had to be replaced. And I got lucky. So, and that's all I have for now. I'm still sick as a dog. I came out here to film it, and it's probably taken all my energy to do that. And it's such a pathetic thing to say. So meanwhile, this car, my project car, there, I got the wheels on, got most of the turbo mounted. Although for the moment, over there you could see part of the intercooler piping and the blow-off valve. That stuff has been backed out so that I could take out power steering pump, which is actually right there. And then I had to fabricate all these lines. I don't know if you could see it. Lighting is kind of dim. So, if you could see, I had to get all that stuff worked. There's the front down to the proportioning valve for the back, and these front lines. And that's the vacuum where the ABS pump was. So what I've got left tighten up my power steering pump, put on that belt, put on the alternator, and then I've got to figure out what to do with these fuel lines, because I see 3, but only 2 come up here. One went to the charcoal filter, and then one came off of the charcoal filter, but I don't know where it went to. And so that is the big mystery. Where does that bad boy go? I would love to cut those off and put AN fittings all the way up to here and have nice pretty fuel lines. We shall see. More later.